First of all, welcome everyone to our value-based analytics webinar, and I really appreciate you taking time out in your day. We're looking forward to walking you through these programs we offer, and excited about the opportunity of sharing it with you. My name is Mike King. I'm SVP of North American Sales. I've been in the Oracle ecosystem 20 plus years and been with Evosys now going on 5 years. And with me, I have Snehal Chaniara. Snehal, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, Mike. Hello, everyone. Snehal, been with Evosys for 14 years now. I have a lot of experience implementing Oracle on-premise and Oracle cloud applications here in US and globally as well. Very excited to deliver today's webinar. Thank you.
Thanks, Snehal. Now, just a little housekeeping. If anyone has any questions, there's a questions section that you can key those in. We're going to leave time at the end, probably 15 minutes at the end of the presentation for Q&A. Certainly, if it doesn't take that long, then you'll get some time back into your day. But again, there's a questions section that you can type in as we go through, and we'll make sure we answer whatever you ask. So just really quickly, the agenda for today. We're going to talk about our value-based delivery approach. We're going to show some sample KPIs and analytics that we use to support this approach. We're going to have a customer case study, and we're going to talk about value-based analytics for existing Oracle Cloud clients, because it's still very relevant. Even if you're already implemented, it's a very relevant program for you to use too. Oh, real quick, we're going to take a quick poll. Sorry, Vidita, you want to pop that up? Yeah, this will be on your screen for 30 seconds or so. Just, are you an existing cloud customer or not? Great, thank you. So we did a extensive survey in the client base. We interviewed roughly about 100 customers at the C-level to find out what their top objectives are for cloud application projects. And this is what they came back with. And it was really interesting. 81% came back with these same responses. They want a tangible return on investment. They want savings as a result of the implementation. They want to improve efficiency. They want to improve the user experience, and they want better analytics. So based on this, we put together what we call our Insight program, which actually allows clients to measure the value that they're getting out of their implementations. And that's what we're going to key on and talk about today. And that is relevant for customers going through new implementations and also existing customers with existing implementations. Next slide. So let's start talking about Evosys Insights and value-based analytics. And let's just start out by being real. Anytime you put in an implementation of solutions, you're going to want to see what kind of value you're getting out of it. And the only way to do that is to come up with KPIs you can track and monitor. And we all know that's difficult and challenging to do. Also, once you come up with those KPIs, wouldn't it be nice if you had a program which allowed you to track those and monitor those as it goes through the process? To be able to not only identify those key KPIs that you want to track for ROI, but have a way to monitor those and know, how am I doing? Is it working? What is my return on investment? Well, that's what we put this program together. We've got you covered. The program is called Insights, and it's identification of potential KPIs, which we're going to talk about how we do that. And then we have value-based analytics, which is our tool that lets you measure those KPIs as you go through the implementation process and also post go live. Again, post go live, being able to see after you go live, how are you doing against those key KPIs? Next slide. So how does this work? Well, first of all, in the sales cycle and the project readiness phase, we identify the set of KPIs, and we actually have a library of these that we can use to help you do that. So it's not something that you have to necessarily think of on your own, although you can. We have a library of these, over 140 of these, that we can use to help trigger what you may want to do and may want to track. Then we put baselines against these KPIs that we've identified for benchmarking. During the implementation, we detail out these KPIs and we specifically make sure that we know what we're doing from an Evosys side and what the client's doing from a client side to track and monitor these. And that's when we put in these dashboards that allow us to monitor these not only during implementation, but certainly post go live. And Evosys stays with you until the KPIs are successfully measured. So again, some of these KPIs you may look at 6 months to a year afterwards to see, okay, how did we do? Did we hit our target? Did we hit our benchmarks? That's what our tools allow you to do. And Evosys will even hold back our final payment for the project on the result of how these KPIs come out. So we tie ourselves to these KPIs for final payment. If they're successful, great. If they're not, then we don't get paid. Next slide. So there's been a paradigm shift. The problem is we all, have these transformational systems that we put in, and we're hoping that they're going to give us measurable value and measurable ROI. But how do you track that? How do you even know that that's happening? That's how we came up with a solution for this with our value-based analytics, which is a tool that was developed to focus, measure, and monitor the ROI that you're getting out of your implementation. Now, we've taken these KPIs that I mentioned, over 140 of them, and we've broken them out into different categories based on process optimization, system adoption, information output, audit, and compliance. So we have a library of these that we can sit down and identify what are the handful that we want to track post go live after the implementation, or if we're existing customer, what are some KPIs we'd like to go in and see how we're doing? Are we doing well? Did we hit these KPIs? Can we do better? So we have a tool set that helps track and monitor that. And what this helps you do is it gets you out of reactive mode into proactive mode. You don't look at the implementation just as a technical success, but you see what the business value is you're getting out of the implementation. And it takes the guesswork out of being able to say, what kind of value did I really get out of this? And again, the customers, which we'll talk about, that have been using this are seeing extreme value in this program and being able to quantify the ROI that they're getting out of their. Next slide. So I was going to turn it over now to Snehal so he can walk you through some of the examples of our KPIs and also talk to some real world examples of what we've done. So Snehal.
Thank you so much, Mike. Hello, everyone again. Just to remind, if you have any question, feel free to type in the question chat box, and we will try and do our best to answer. Before I get into details about some of the examples and what we have done today is we have included examples from various business functions, which is finance, supply chain, and human capital management. And at the end, we are also going to talk about real customer case study, meaning someone who have used Evosys Insight and value-based analytics and what is that they have achieved, and other fun stuff. But before that, philosophically, and I think Mike have described this pretty well. With our strong Oracle Cloud experience, we feel as a group, go live is not the ultimate milestone of success for us. We want our customer to achieve the true value on their investment, and that's the fundamental and core vision behind introduction of this program, which is Evosys Insight and the value-based analytics. I just wanted to highlight the philosophy one more time. All right. So with that, let's start with first example. Like Mike said, we either as part of the sales cycle or during the project readiness phase, we identify the KPI. So in my first example, as you can see, the KPI is a customer want to reduce the payment processing time by implementing Oracle Cloud Financial. So that's one of their KPI. So we identify this and then we detail out the KPI, meaning there are cases where we have to create a sub KPIs also. Once that's done, we will baseline and benchmark. Again, baseline and benchmark happens either as part of the sales cycle or in the project readiness phase. So in this example, today with existing system, a customer is processing about 79% of payment on time, and what they want to achieve is ultimately by using Oracle Cloud Financials, they want to improve this to 95%. So we agree the KPI, we baseline and benchmark, and then we would deliver this package to Evosys project team. So Evosys project manager and the solution architect would create detailed task. There will be task on customer, there will be task on Evosys. The task will be very specific, so that ultimately you will get positive result on this particular KPI. The task could be Evosys to recommend the leading practice, Evosys to configure solution in a way where your payment processing time would improve, give you right analytics so that you can measure the performance of payment processing time, so and so forth. And from customer side, you might have to improve your SLA, you might have to adjust your business processes, you want to make your approval process efficient, so and so forth. It could be anything depending upon your business situation and what kind of KPI you select. We will work with you to create this task. We will collaborate with you throughout the project life cycle to help you to recommend the leading practice, and like I said, configure a solution so that ultimately you will enjoy a benefit on the agreed KPI. Once that's done, once you are live, what we have done is we have created number of analytics, as Mike have mentioned, about 340 analytics using Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence, which we deploy on your production environment, where you will be able to monitor or measure the performance on agreed KPI. We will also load the baseline and the benchmark so that you would know that what was your situation before using Oracle Cloud application for this particular KPI, and then after 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, or even for that matter after a year, whether you have really got what we have agreed as part of the sales cycle. If you can observe, these analytics are very carefully designed so that you will get the comparative view, you will get the summary view, and you will also get all kind of detailed views from this particular analytics. Just to clarify, we don't charge extra to use this analytics. We do not charge extra for Evosys Insight program. We believe that it is a very important aspect of Evosys delivery approach. Let's get to another example. We have seen, when we have done cloud financial implementation, reduction in period closing cycle time is, very, very important and a famous KPI. Again, we follow similar process where, we identify the KPI, we detail out the KPI. When I say detail out, we will write a very detailed description. When you say that you want to reduce the period closing cycle time, what do you mean exactly? What are the sub ledgers you want to include, and what are the other aspect you want to include as part of this particular KPI? And then we will baseline, benchmark, follow the same process, and at the end we will have dashboard which ultimately helps you to uh, either to measure whether you have really got improvement on the KPI, or in this situation, as you can see, period close exception, we have really seen that our customer have faced several issues in terms of exception when they close their period. It could be incorrect correct accounting or some other issues. This dashboard will help you to identify the issue, which will ultimately result into improve in the period close cycle time in this situation. These are just two examples from finance. We have a library of about 70 different KPIs for the finance function across, GL, AP, AR, uh, and not just finance. We also have KPIs across the project suite, which is project costing, project financials, project management, so and so forth. We will help and we will work with your finance office, with your CFOs to identify the KPI baseline benchmark, and then ultimately help you to measure the progress of KPI post go live. All right, let's move to second subject, which is supply chain, and let's pick up some example and see and get some flavor around supply chain. We have seen reduction in contract leakage is one of the famous KPI around purchasing, where you have agreement in place with your supplier, but still you have done hard negotiation with them, but still you are not really able to follow the agreement, and you're going to some other suppliers, so and so forth. And ultimately, the purchasing head, the supply chain head, and the CFO wants to first and foremost monitor, where is the contract leakage, what are the cause, is there a business priority, or someone is simply not following the protocol. So we agree the KPI, same process, we baseline and benchmark, and in this case, what is the acceptable dollar value for contract leakage. It could be anything. We agree then, and then ultimately uh, we will create a detailed task. This task list, as part of our KPI library, we also have a detailed task, from our experience working with various customer across the globe. We know what customer have done to essentially implement the contract leakage in this case. We know what are the leading practices, what are the specific configuration we should do, what are the feature and functionalities you should use as part of Oracle cloud application. So it's not just about identifying the KPI, it's not just about baselining, benchmarking, but we also have a library of leading practices, so that ultimately, as part of implementation process, we recommend you the leading practices then and there. We configure solution then and there, so that you ultimately get the benefit. The example of the dashboard, which will help you, and very interestingly, some of our customer have asked us, I want to do if and else kind of a analysis, for this particular KPI, where I want to see, all right, if I get into this situation, then what is the potential saving, as far as contract leakage is concerned. So using the analytics, you will also be able to do if and else kind of analysis. This analytics are really interactive. Let's keep going. um, we all know, right, as part of implementation project, and when you invest in sophisticated applications such as Oracle cloud, everyone wants to talk about leading practices, everyone wants to implement flashy and sophisticated features. And this is an example, right? A touchless purchase order, when again, when your agreements are in place, and someone raised the purchase requisition, you do not want your purchasing team to spend time and energy creating purchase order. You want it to happen automatically, and 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 it is a fair ask, right? Because that is why you are implementing the application. But from our experience, we have seen the SI and the customer spending hours and hours of time designing the sophisticated solution, but they don't use it, um, after go live, and the reasons could be multiple. So we also have customers, identifying a KPI which are related to system utilization, and the user adoption, so that ultimately they will monitor after go live whether they are getting full benefit of the application. If not, what are the cause, so and so forth. So this is a fantastic example around a system utilization. All right, let's move on. Human capital management. Uh, Very interestingly, this is one of the KPI, onboarding process efficiency. We have recently implemented with one of our global customer here in US. They are a manufacturing company, having their presence across 35 countries, and we have rolled out recruiting, onboarding, core HR, payroll, pretty much end-to-end HCM suite. And when we had started project, before a year, the CHRO said that one of my pain is onboarding process, in terms of it really takes huge amount of effort. I can't track the status. The user experience of my new hire is not good, and I really want to track this KPI. So we have identified improving onboarding process efficiency as one of the KPI. Again, these numbers are a taste number, it's not real number. But what essentially customer wanted to do is, they were spending, just for sake of our discussion, 30 hours of time on an average for onboarding process, from A to Z. And what they wanted to do is reduce it to 18 hours, and also improve the new hire user experience. So we have agreed this. We have obviously created number of tasks, shared leading practices, and today customer is enjoying. So we have yet not reached to the 100% level of satisfaction. It is about 65% as of last month for this particular KPI for the customer I have referred. But when we had started the project, we have agreed that it's going to take about 6 months of time for them to accomplish this KPI 100%. But the beauty is, the CHRO, the talent acquisition head across the globe, is able to monitor or measure on a real-time basis, how their onboarding process is doing. And because this is a global organization, they can slice and dice, all right, how North America is doing as far as onboarding process is concerned, how Europe is doing, or how Asia Pacific or how Singapore specifically is doing. So they are truly enjoying that the information is on their fingertips. And again, the dashboard, the examples which I have shown, all these dashboards are absolutely ready. We do not have to spend any time to adjust or modify the dashboard. They are well tested, and used widely by our customers here in North America, and globally also. This is another example. And uh, one of my favorite example, employees performance evaluation. Now, um, let's assume that I am a HR business partner, right? My role is obviously to track that, how many days are remaining to complete the performance appraisal process, um, and out of my about 200 employees, 137 are in progress, 39 are complete. So this information is critical. It is important for me to track. But more than that, uh, as a HR business partner, for me it is very important that in my department, employee and manager are fully engaged. um, my manager have given me, one of my important KPI being employee engagement. And I absolutely want being employee appraisal process one of the critical aspect, both for employee and employer. I want to make sure that my employees are fully engaged. This dashboard will give me that information. So if you see, there are about 2% tasks which are bypassed by some employees. And there are about 18% tasks which are overdue. So if I drill down, if I click on to, I will get information. Who are the employees? What are the specific tasks they have bypassed as part of employee appraisal process? Um, And then that will give me an opportunity to talk to the employee, talk to the manager, identify what is the issue. Is employee not happy with the process? Employee not happy with the job, or manager is not giving enough time to employee so that they can have enough dialogue as part of the appraisal process, and which can help them to successfully complete each and every task. So this dashboard are created after a lot of research and analysis, which will not just give you data, but it really gives you information from varieties of angle, which will help lower management, middle management, and senior and the executive management to take right decisions. So that's about HR. I have briefly discussed system utilization and user adoption. This is number one KPI. I would say more than 95% of our customers have used at least for initial duration of go live. And very interestingly, we use and let me go to next slide and discuss this. We use system utilization and user adoption dashboard as part of our UAT process also. So when we conduct user acceptance testing, we do not want our customer and our users to just give us a sign off on paper. We really want that they have gone into details, verified the process, tested all the scenarios, because what we don't want is a bad go live. So we use this dashboard not just after go live, but as part of our implementation project also, which absolutely bring a lot of transparency, quality, and gives great amount of confidence to our customer. And after go live, this is a fantastic dashboard. Let me go to next example and give you a real life situation. So this example is from human capital management, and what you can see on your screen is employee file exception report. Now, if you are aware about benefit enrollment process, uh, having right address for employee file is very important, because it will drive the eligibility for your benefit. So I am a benefit officer, and what I want to see is the address information is accurate. So I can run this analytics. I can say, all right, so there are about 477 address which are missing. So I can get into details. Click here, and it will give me a list of all the employees. Either I can make changes myself, request employees to do changes, whatsoever is appropriate. If I think I want to make changes, I will click here and it will open the application. So this dashboard are absolutely interactive. It is not just about analyzing the information, but it is about either taking right action from here or taking right decision as appropriate. So this were the some of the examples of KPI we wanted to share. We have just picked up two example per business function, but as Mike have described, we have library of about 140 different KPIs, and 340 plus analytics, which we share to our customer. Essentially help them to give a great starting point so that they can choose what are the KPI they want to track as part of implementation project. We are more than happy to identify KPI which is very peculiar in nature for your business, and create an analytics which is not available in our library. All right, with that, let's get to next subject, and please feel free if you have any question, please post in the chat window, and we will answer them as soon as possible. So this is one of our customer here in US, a healthcare customer, very prominent healthcare customer here in US. And after going live, in the first month, they have approved about 37,000 invoices, in 30 days of time. And then we have analyzed the pattern and the approval flow of invoice approval. What we have observed is about 235 approvers have participated, 6 approvals per day per approver. That means about 5 minutes per approval, which is essential. They are spending about 100 man hours of time per day. We have given this information to CFO, and she was, I would not say shocked, but she was really, really surprised. And then obviously you can put a dollar value to this amount. And then what she has immediately done is, she has gone back and adjusted the approval flow, and improved the approval flow, which has given them about $80,000 of saving in just first month of deployment using value-based analytics. These are the real number. We are more than happy for you if you want to talk to some of our customers. They are getting fantastic benefit, immediately after going live using this analytics and the Evosys insight. Let me share another example, and very, very interesting. This is again an example from US. It's a hospitality customer. The CFO said that, what, KPI and everything is fantastic. What I want Evosys to do is, these are various indicators for my finance office. Can you analyze them yourself? Use your analytics, analyze them, and present me on a monthly basis. What is your view on my business? What is that you think from your experience, across other customers and around the globe, what we are not doing and what other customers are doing. So we also provide services, beyond deploying analytics, where we will analyze your information and give you presentation on a regular basis after going live, as part of our managed services, where we will touch varieties of aspect, be it analyzing system utilization, process completion cycle time, the data quality, the exceptions, the reconciliation, so on and so forth. So this is another very interesting way of using this dashboards and analytics as part of Evosys managed services. All right, so let me keep going. I have a few more slides to cover, and then we will see if we have any questions. So like Mike have mentioned, in his introduction, that value-based analytics and Evosys insight is not just for a customer, who want to start cloud implementation project. But if you are a cloud Oracle Cloud customer, if you are using the product, we can still help you as part of the managed services. So we use Evosys insight and value-based analytics very heavily as part of our managed services. In this example, this is a very large customer, one of our global customer, very, very large, using all the modules across various business function. And what we have done is, we use a concept of innovation board. So innovation board is group of folks from Evosys and from customer. As soon as we start the managed services, after go live, or at any point of time, we will deploy this analytics in your production environment, and then we will do analysis on monthly basis. Because this customer is pretty large, we have spent about 4 months of time to analyze the situation, going back and forth, understanding the situation, and then from there, as part of our support services, the innovation board would start recommending specific. It could be, adjusting your SLAs. It could be exploring innovative and emerging technologies, uh, be it digital assistants. One of our customer, having a huge employee count and employee base across the globe, they wanted to improve um, the user experience, and they said that the self-service is not enough. Can we explore chatbot? So we have recommended a number of use cases. Uh, It could be, adjusting your approval flow, or it could be implementing new modules, or it could be as simple as, uh, getting more training. So the point is, we deploy this dashboard, we understand, as part of your uh, as part of the managed services, while you are evolving the application, we will understand what are your goals, what are your pain, what are your problems, and we use this analytics to identify a lot of data point, and then recommend the action, which are very useful. So the purpose or the vision of our managed services is, we do not want to spend your dollar in resolving operational issues only. We do root cause analysis, we identify, we try and train you so that you become independent as far as managing the operational support. Where we want to focus is to bring operational efficiency, by using a concept like innovation board. So the point is, if you're a Oracle Cloud customer and live, you can still leverage Evosys insight and value-based analytics. Mike, you want to cover this?
Thank you, Snehal, for walking us through that. Very informative. Yeah, I just wanted to take a second to just talk a little bit about Evosys as a company. We have over 1,100 plus cloud customers that we've done with Oracle. I think it's probably more than anyone in the ecosystem that we've brought live on Oracle Cloud. We're in over 30 countries. We have over 1,500 consultants. The other thing that's very important to understand is we can be a one-stop shop for you, because we implement everything that Oracle has in their portfolio that they sell. So we can implement ERP, supply chain, human capital management, EPM, et cetera, across the board. We've implemented all of those solutions and can implement all those solutions. We've been the lucky winner, I wouldn't say lucky, the winner of some very significant awards for Oracle. Last year, we were the HCM Global Partner of the Year. In 2017, we were the Global ERP Partner of the Year. So again, number of awards we've won with Oracle, which just really shows our talent in being able to win these awards with Oracle. We focus on many different industries as far as our expertise is concerned, and our service coverage. We obviously do implementations. We offer managed services after go live. And we offer technology expertise. So again, from a company perspective, we go back to the fact that we can be your partner for life, if you will, because we can implement pretty much everything Oracle has. With that, I'll open it up for questions if there are any. Just feel free to put those in your question area on WebEx, and we can certainly answer those for you. Let's give it a second here and see if we get any questions from the audience. Snehal, here's one question. What does Insight, what does it cost? How does that work?
Sure. So there is no separate cost for Insight. There is no separate cost for the analytics. It is part of our implementation services fee, or it is part of our managed services fee. This is more than a program. This is a philosophy of our delivery approach. We think, like I have mentioned, it is not just about going live. It is about truly understanding why are you embarking the cloud journey. What is that you are trying to resolve? What is that you are trying to achieve? So it's more of a philosophy than a program. So there is no separate cost to this program.
Okay, thank you. Let's see here if there's any other questions that popped up. Yeah, here's a question, Snehal. If your library of KPIs, which you have developed over time, which is good, if there's a KPI we want to track that's unique to our business that's not part of that, is that something you can do?
Absolutely, that's a great question. So our library is a starting point, and what we have observed is, more than about 45% of time in the process of identification of KPI, customer would bring a KPI which is very unique to their situation. So yes, we definitely support. Our library is just a starting point. In fact, we recommend to identify a KPI which is very peculiar for your situation, because then the probability of getting success is higher.
Great, thank you. Let's see. I guess, and this came out, but just another question. If you've already gone live with Oracle Cloud applications and you're wanting to go back and get some ideas on how your ROI was on KPIs, can you do that after you've already gone live?
Absolutely. Yep. Short answer is yes.
Okay, perfect. I think that's all we've got right now.
There's one more.
Okay, Vidita, I can't. I got it. How is the implementation different if not already a cloud user? Well, I think that's it. Well, I'd like to thank everybody for taking their time out of a busy day to attend. And again, if you have any further questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And again, we're happy we're able to take the time to walk you through this. And thank you very much for your time.